Over the last few years, an increasing amount of businesses have started to spend more of their marketing budgets on social media platforms, and especially Facebook and Instagram. And as we've seen over the last 3 to 4 years, the cost of advertising on these platforms have risen quite dramatically. And this creates a challenge, as it's obviously going to get harder to actually stay profitable with your campaigns as the costs are rising. One way you can deal with this issue is obviously just to improve your campaigns, improve the ad creative, the ads, the targeting. But another way you can improve the profitability is to actually improve the conversion rate of your website. So when people go from your ads to the landing page, you have to make sure that the most amount of people of that traffic is converting into customers. So in this video, I'm going to show you a very exciting case study of how we helped one of our clients increase the conversion rate from 1.29% all the way up to 2.43%. So this is a massive increase of 88%. And one thing that is important to note with the conversion rate is that just a slight improvement in the conversion rate can have a major impact on the profitability. And the reason for that is obviously as the conversion rate increases, a lot more of the traffic that you're paying for is going to turn into customers, but you don't have to pay for any more advertising. As an example, if you double your conversion rate and without making any changes in your advertising budget, you would essentially double your sales. So just think about what that could do for your profitability if you can double your revenue without spending a single cent more on advertising. So the first thing that we optimized in order to increase the conversion rate was the website load speed. So for a lot of people, this is going to be very obvious, but having an optimal load speed for your website is super important to have the best possible conversion rate. So one study actually found that for every second in delay of your website load speed, you can lose up to 20% of your conversions. So as you can see, for our client, we increased the Shopify speed score from 14, which is pretty low, to 28, which is still not a lot, but there's a big difference. So we actually doubled the speed score and we almost doubled the conversion rate. So the first thing that we did was to figure out which of the website's element take the longest to load. So which aspects of the website is slowing it down the most. So to do this, we ran a speed test at pagespeed.web.dev. So you basically just type in the URL for your website or your specific landing page, and then you will get the overview over the speed score and how you can optimize this. And one tip for everyone who is going to do this, make sure that you look at the mobile load speed and not so much just the desktop. When you run ads on social media, the majority of the traffic that you get is going to come on mobile. So it's very important that you optimize the speed and the functionality of your website for mobile and not just desktop. So the main thing that we found was that the images were in the wrong format, or in JPEG, which is a slow format for websites. So we reduced the size of the images and we also converted them into a different format, which is a WebP, which is a better format for website load speed. And the funny thing is that the resolution of the images almost looks exactly the same. You can barely see any difference, but it still has a huge improvement in the overall load speed of the website. We also changed the Shopify theme from one of their custom themes, which was not really ideal. They wanted a custom design, but it actually resulted in the website being way slower than what it could have been. So we changed the Shopify theme into a theme that had a much faster load speed. And if you go in and look at the different Shopify themes that you can choose from, make sure you pay attention to the speed score of that theme, because yeah, the design is going to be important for some businesses, but it's also super important to look at the functionality and especially the load speed. So make sure you prioritize that when you choose your Shopify theme. After we did that, we also removed a lot of unnecessary JavaScript from the website. So they had a lot of Shopify apps that they didn't really use, and also some apps that had been deleted, but the JavaScript were still in the website. So this also slows down the load speed for the website. So if you have a lot of Shopify apps that you don't use or you don't need and you can remove them, make sure you do so, and also remove the JavaScript so that your speed score and your load speed time is going to get better. And as you can see on my screen here, once we did this, the speed score immediately jumped from 14 to 28, which was pretty amazing. And it was one of the biggest factors that played into our lift in the conversion rate. So the second biggest thing that we did to get these results was to build more trust. So when I say trust, I mean the trust that the potential customer have towards the business before they make the purchase. So we made an incentive to all the previous customers to give us a Lux review with the image of the product that they got. And if they did so, they would get a 15% discount. So immediately we got a lot of reviews coming into the website. And we also made sure that every new customer that came in and made a purchase would get this same email where we ask for a review with an image. And in return, they will get a discount on their next order. So this is also kind of good because then you will potentially get the customer to come back for a second order because they have this discount that they can use. And if they don't come back, they might at least give this discount to a friend or somebody they know. So it also kind of serves as a referral program, and it also incentivizes customers to come back and become a loyal long-term customer. So once we got a lot of reviews, we made sure that we displayed the best ones on the home page of the website, and we also make sure that every product have reviews related to that product on the product page. Another cool thing that we did that not every business is going to be able to do, but in our case, we were lucky, and they had some celebrity / influencer previous customers that had made posts on their social media with their product. So another thing that we added on the homepage was the founder story. So we added some information about how the founder came up with the products, came up with the brand, and the story behind the brand. And this actually creates a human touch to the website and to the brand. And for potential customers, this is super important because people want to buy from people, and people want to buy from people they like and trust. So if people can read this story and relate to it and be inspired by it, it's way more likely they're going to become a customer. So if you can, I highly recommend to do this. It's just a small detail to add to your homepage, but it can have a huge impact on the brand long term and also your short-term results. And we also added a quote from the founder in the bottom of the website where you see the values of the brand and the focus behind the brand. So number 3 is going to be friction. So with friction, there's 2 types of friction I'm going to talk about. The number 1 type of friction is the obvious friction. So some example of this will be how many clicks you have to make before you can get to the checkout page, how much you have to scroll before you can get to the add to cart button, and those kind of functionalities that create friction. The second type of friction I'm going to talk about is the subtle kind of friction. So that's the friction that you don't necessarily see and it's not really obvious. And it's a lot of times the subconscious stuff that happens in the head of the potential customer. So once they come onto your website for the first time and they try to figure out if they're going to buy from you or not, or if they like your products or not, the main concerns they will have is usually, the price. Is there any way I can justify paying this price for this product? Second thing is, will it actually solve the problem that I'm having? And if I buy it, will it arrive in time? So for our client, as an example, a lot of people buy this as gifts. So if they're going to buy a gift, they need to know that the gift is going to arrive in time before they have to actually give the gift to the person they're giving it to. So it's going to be very important that they're not concerned with getting the product in time for this. So we had to make sure that we had information about the shipping and handling time on the website on every product page. So this is just one example of how you can deal with this subtle friction, but it's going to be very important, and it takes a bit more thinking of what subtle friction is actually relevant to you and how you can actually deal with it. So this is what we did to reduce the obvious friction. So we restructured the whole menu navigation to make it well organized and easy for people to sort between what they're looking for and get immediately to the products or the categories that they're interested in. We also reduced the text on the collection pages. So before, when people went to collection pages, there was a lot of text and information about that collection before they can actually get to the product itself. So what we did was we just removed all that. We put that information on each product page instead. And that made sure that immediately once they land on the collection page, above the fold, the products will appear. So people don't have to scroll down before they can see products. Immediately they will see the top products on that collection. Another thing we added with the team was a quick buy button. So this makes it so that people on desktop don't even have to click in on the product to buy it. They can just click on it and add it to cart without leaving the collection page. So this is super cool, and I highly recommend adding this to your website because it just removes another layer of friction, and they can stay on your collection page and they can see all the other products that they also want to add. So they're probably going to buy a lot more products as well. We also added new arrivals higher up on the homepage. So immediately when people land on the homepage, they will see some relevant products that they probably haven't seen before. So if you have a lot of returning customers, this is going to be super valuable, because once they come back to your website, they will immediately see the new products that you have on your site, and they're going to probably be interested in them if they like them. So highly recommend adding that. We also added a buy button with PayPal, so they can just click immediately if they want to pay with PayPal. And we also added a shop, pay, and PayPal button under the checkout button. So then they don't have to select payment method later on. They will just be immediately having that pre-selected, which is reducing some friction. So another obvious friction element that we took care of was obviously the load speed, but I already talked about that one. So for the subtle friction, what we did was adding a top banner on the website where we inform them about the free shipping, where the shipping is from. So we have a banner that says shipping from Texas. And this is really important because a lot of the customers buying on this store are located near or in Texas, so they know that the shipping is not going to take long. And we also added their guarantee in the top banner, and this is just to show the confidence of the business and how confident they are that the customers are going to be happy once they buy their products. We also added the main unique selling points on all the pages. So if you scroll to the bottom, just above the footer, you will see the unique selling propositions. So this is really important if you have competitors, and it also makes it super easy to read. They don't have to go through a whole text. They can easily see it with icons, why they should buy from you and not somebody else. So highly recommend this one as well. We also added a FAQ page where we take care of the common concerns. So we went through the customer support tickets and we looked at the ones that most frequently appear, so the questions that people ask the most, and then we made sure that we had an answer for that in the FAQ section. So this is also going to increase your conversion rate, but it's also going to reduce the customer support tickets that you get, which is a win-win. So I highly recommend doing that as well. We also added a chat option on all the pages of the whole website, and this is really important because once they have some questions or concerns, they can just send a chat message and then you can give them an answer, send them some recommendations, and yeah, take care of the concerns they might have. So this is really, really, really valuable to have, and I highly recommend it. Design is obviously a subjective opinion, what is nice and what is not nice, but I think overall we made the design look way more high-end, which could justify the prices they were charging for the products. And then, as I said, we added information about shipping and delivery, which is one of the main concerns people have because they buy these products as gifts. So by doing all of this, as I said, we were able to increase the conversion rate from 1.29% to 2.43%. So huge increase. This had a huge impact on the overall return on ad spend and business profitability. But we obviously continue to test and optimize the website all the time because there's always going to be something that can be optimized. So it's not just your Facebook ad campaigns that you continuously have to improve. Your website is also going to be something that you have to continuously keep working on to always optimize. So once you see that something can be improved, make sure you spend as little time as possible to get it implemented. And with conversion rate optimization, there's usually a lot of things you can test and improve. And let me know in the comments down below what your conversion rate is. And also, if you want to add your URL to your website, I will personally give you some recommendations of how I think you can improve your conversion rate. So add those down below, give the video a like, and subscribe if you want to see future videos like this. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.